Hello, Steve White. Steve Arts 89. Well, Madonna's been around for 40 years, and as a lifelong fan, it's kind of easy to forget that the kids don't really know who she is. And a lot of the little baby gays, they don't really understand. And something that Madonna reminded people of tonight and showed new people of is that the bitch knows how to wear a suit. So she went to the Met Gala. She wasn't planning to, apparently. She wasn't planning to, and then last minute she found out what the theme was this year. And you think she might have, I don't know, looked at that earlier. But it was dandies. So the idea of the dandy is, particularly in black culture, is that men dressed up to elevate themselves over the racism that they were, just living in and dealing with. And a good suit was one way to do it. So she was inspired by Gladys Bentley, who was a 1930s performer. She was a lesbian. I think she was out. And she did a nod to that with a white suit. Now, I really wish she'd had the top hat, because the picture that I'm seeing, that I'm going to put in the thumbnail, has her with a top hat, and it looks really... I wish she'd had the top hat, but it's okay. So Madonna and the suit. Okay, so Madonna, when did she start really doing the power suit thing? I think Express Yourself, 1989, the year I was born. Then, I mean, there was the erotica era, and you had Bye Bye Baby, and she's just always done the gender roles, and played with that, and always worn a suit really well. She's always played with the Marlene Dietrich image, and if you want to look up a woman who knows how to wear a suit, there's Marlene Dietrich as well. I think, was it in the Blue Angel that she actually wore the suit, and she did the scene telling the boys to come to the back room, and she's in the suit. I can't remember what movie that was in. But she's always played with that. She's acknowledged it. Unlike Lady Gaga, who steals and doesn't acknowledge who she takes from, Madonna would actually talk about these people and, do a march to them and educate the baby gays. Like, I didn't really even appreciate who Marilyn Monroe was until I saw Material Girl, and I'm like, I want to see that video, that movie that Madonna was inspired by, that Marilyn Monroe did. Because I knew who Marilyn Monroe was, but I hadn't really seen any of her films. I just knew who she was culturally. And then just by luck, pretty much that week, Gentlemen Prefer Blondes was on the ABC, because the ABC is awesome. And I watched that, and then I became a Marilyn Monroe fan and have been like my whole life. So, and same thing with Marlene Dietrich. I didn't really know who she was until I saw Bye Bye Baby, and people were talking about how she was, because my friend's mother, who I was watching the girly show with, was like, she's doing Marlene Dietrich. But the difference was she acknowledged that. She talked about Marlene Dietrich, and I saw her talking about her in interviews, unlike Lady Gaga, who pretends to her baby gays, who don't know any better, that she is God and the only person who's ever done anything like this. They don't know who Marilyn Manson is, they don't know who David Bowie is, they don't know who Grace Jones is, and they barely know who Madonna is. They just have heard that she's like old and irrelevant, basically, and that's all they know. That's all Gaga will tell them. So Madonna knows how to wear a suit, and she respects Black history, and she went there to do a nod to that and this great lesbian icon from the 30s who I think I had seen pictures of her, but I didn't really know who she was. But and she of course wore a I want to say white suit, but it wasn't white, it was like an off-white with the white shirt underneath and cummerbund or whatever it's called, and it was quite loose and very sumptuous, the material. It wasn't sort of tight, didn't have anything cut out. She wasn't trying to show off skin and and that was interesting, because Madonna normally goes that route, of course. I mean, she's had a couple of Met Gala outfits that were basically gowns. She's done that, like, I think 3 times, I think. But so this was interesting, because this is something a lot of people missed, and there are a lot of people who went in suits, including Henry Golding in a gold suit, simple gold suit. God, it looked beautiful. But a few people got it right. They actually read the memo. They actually got what the theme was and showed up. Other people were just trying to look pretty. Now, the only one who got away with it, I think, was Diana Ross, because she's Diana Ross and she had an 18-foot train or something. So that was amazing. But I don't think she read the theme. There's nothing suitish about that outfit. But yeah, I just want to talk about that for a minute. Acknowledge that she wore the suit. She looked awesome. She was smoking a cigar. Now, I don't like the cigar. Smoking causes cancer. Madonna's mother died of cancer. I've always thought it's incredibly irresponsible for her to always be smoking in videos because she thinks it looks hot. She's making it look good for people. She's promoting smoking. Never supported her doing that. Right back to the VMAs in freaking 1989 when she showed up for smoke. Never liked that because she doesn't smoke. She just pretends to for the videos to look hot, and I'm like, you idiot. So there's always something she does that pisses me off. I love her, but there's always something. But everyone's going on about that and saying she was smoking hot and all that, and that's fine because that's part of the image as well that she's playing with. The butch, she always plays with that gender stereotype and so forth, and it's always interesting to see, and I'm just glad that now all the little baby gays and the Gaga tards are now seeing that.